film companion is my job. Mommy is not. Mommy is where I'm a volunteer.
Boss.
Pause.
Come on. I've got in twice saying I'm Anu Verma's friend or something. They just let me in.
Chopra.
Uh,
I love it. I love it. I'm not the only one who has trouble with names.
I mean, there's no way back from here. I'll say bye now. You can say thanks for coming and I'll leave. Chopra.
Chopra.
It reminds you of this Persian actor Boman Irani.
Of
Yes,
course.
yes.
So Boman used to do
He's
this thing
done
with
some
his kids
wonderful
when they were
Persian
young.
films.
Yeah, exactly. So he would do this thing where he would count till 10 if they'd done something wrong for them to apologize or back off or whatever, right? So then I asked him, but what if you reach 10? So, no, at 9, I go into 9.25, 9.5. You just push.
You're just hedging your bets.
You're highly flexible. Yeah.
Indeed.
No more Viva la France. No more for me. Yeah. I know the whole culture's gotten away with slow and boring stuff and nobody's saying anything. Somebody's got to stand up.
It's
Now,
you.
Korea. They've given me movies where a man dies every 6 seconds.
That's right.
There was a movie that was the train thing. Train
Train to Busan.
Busan.
I
Oh my
love that movie.
God. I
Yeah,
love
that
that
is a
movie.
movie.
You love that
I
movie?
love that
How do you watch
movie.
French cinema? How do you watch both? That's like being veg and non-veg. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
but you should be,
Okay,
like
so you're a
very
real liberal and secular cinema watcher. You're not like us. We are tribes. We like our tribe. I love the Korean films.
in
It's so quick.
Train to Busan, that last moment when he's standing and you know
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that
yeah.
he's going to be dead.
Yeah.
So lovely.
Yeah.
Such a moment of poetry after all that killing.
All right. Excellent news. We have in the house India's highest rated film noir. I've made up this own word. I don't know what it means. But a person who basically not just a critic. I think we've moved on from critic days. But a person who's like a bibliographist of cinema. But you've said not to quiz you, so I won't. I'll begin on my favorite subject, cricket. Because I know your son is doing real good. So let's talk about him first. Agni Dev Chopra. I've got so many questions. First, congratulations. 5 back-to-back hundreds for Mizoram.
you.
Was
Thank
it guts to go to, and no disrespect to Mizoram, but to go from an empire like Mumbai, one of the biggest cities in the world in terms of cricket, and then to go to Mizoram, which is coming up and doesn't have the infrastructure, etc. That huge. Because I know, I would like to talk a bit about the reverse policy in sports, where we only talk about the poor people punching up, but it's also tough for the odd rich person to go to the middle class game and thrive. Which, no, I empathize. You think it's sarcasm, but it's not. It's difficult. So first, applauded for that. Secondly, do you know, are you involved in his career at all? 5 back-to-back hundreds he's made it's like Bradman-esque.
I'm so thrilled. I wish I could tell you guys I know anything about cricket.
But this
Like nothing.
he's really talented. I've been following him. I didn't know until I read an article the other day that he was your son. But we've been following him, and then I thought Dev, and then Vidu Vinod, and then Agni Dev. So there's no real connection there. So is it because of Kapil Dev that the Dev was put in the middle? Because I know your husband's a huge cricket fan.
No. Actually, the Dev comes from literally, we went to I think we were at a temple in
Dave
Jammu.
Chappelle. Oh, sorry.
No.
I thought one of these two. Kapil Dev, Dave Chappelle.
Actually, none.
Damn it.
I just saw, it was the first time I've seen a statue of the god of fire. I'd never seen that ever
Agni.
in any temple. And there, it said Agni Dev. And I'm like, that just sounds
So
lovely.
he's like a Zoroastrian. He's into fire. Fire is his thing. There's a lot of connections here. But this is great. Can I just ask you a couple of questions about him, because I read extensively. I'm sorry that I'm doing this, but as a mother, I'm thinking this will be a happy conversation.
Yeah, unless you ask me about cricket and
No,
then...
I'm not asking you whether he feels that
I'll
fine
get
leg or
trolled
third man.
even more.
No, nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
I know whenever I played as a young boy growing up, okay, you don't speak Marathi properly, you're in a team where everybody's from a different social group. It's not easy because
It's
you're the
not easy.
outsider.
Yeah.
It's the same story, it's just
Yeah.
reversed.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that. So hats off to him. I know the young Birla boy whose name is Aryaman got into Rajasthan Royals. He went through the same thing.
Yeah.
He comes from privilege, but he was a talented boy.
So whenever one of them makes it, you see yourself in them. You're like,
Well, they have
this
much
is
more
for
money
Cyrus.
than me. But I have a understanding of that tribe. I'm closer to that tribe than the poor of India. I have no interest
Yeah.
in the poor of India. I've tried to show some interest, but I've lost interest.
Is it okay to say things like this?
In this present climate, it's not religious. It's all right, just kidding.
I just know I'm going to be trolled.
No.
More after this.
No, listen.
You were laughing when he said this?
No.
That's why I just keep a
My
straight
life
face.
is hard enough anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like filmmakers are telling me to go to China. So,
Yes.
Oh, you
You know what-
offended the smallest tribe in India, the filmmakers. Don't worry about it.
Do you know the filmmaker she's talking about?
You want to name names?
No, I do
I don't
not.
think that's a good idea.
names.
You know, our legal department closed, right?
Did it?
Ours is funding. Ours is always funding. It's not about the legality of anything else. But last words that I
Sure,
want to just
yeah.
add here. So he goes to Mizoram. Once again,
I'm just thinking you said no ad work. He's had 5 centuries. By the time this episode comes out, he might have some ads. So then he will look really.
No. He
he'll
better
look
just
like
get back
fools.
to the day job, which is playing cricket.
Sadly, you're not a cricket nut like I am. The difference is that we love looking at new talent. We sound like a pedophile. What I mean is that you see names in the paper, in the internet, whatever, these names who are performing across the country, and they start sticking in your head.
Right.
I did not know that this name was the scion of this famous family, etc., etc. And so for me now, I'm really backing the horse because I feel for me there's a little investment in it now.
Right.
He represents a little bit of our little Valkeshwara world, if you like.
Of course.
So yeah.
Bandra.
But it's the same thing. You know what I mean? People who have 4 meals and only need 3. That type. Yeah. So,
That's definitely
hats off
us.
to him to go to Mizoram, lovely place as it is, to play cricket.
Yeah.
Because you could get lost there completely in terms of, he can get lost as a cricketer and
Sure.
not come up because he
Correct.
perhaps didn't do so well, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
and whatever.
No,
So
it's rough. Truthfully, I have never played a sport in my
you never
life.
bowled to him when he was a young boy at home? I used to make my mother bowl now, last weekend. And she's 82 and bedridden. But I told her, with the old ball, the old lady can swing it. Is that okay to say?
Dude.
You've already said much worse things,
Yeah.
Cyrus. I think it's fine.
But your Sonny's book is all about how his mother used to underarm bowl to him in the hall, and so he'd play in the V, etc., etc.
नहीं यार, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा.
What do you mean?
Like I have just zero interest
This
in
boy,
anything.
look at what he had growing up. His dad comes in and shouts, "Cut!" His mom's like, "I like that shot." And it's not cricket they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, the joke in our family is my
Where did
husband.
I read that.
Oh, yeah, what look at him and say,
Kiska beta hai or something.
"Kiska beta hai."
Yeah.
Because we have nothing to do with any sport.
No interest in films, in filmmaking.
Not at all. Not at all.
He's all gone on record to say,
Yeah.
Agni said that I don't want to. I mean, I've never heard that. Talk about Nepo reverse or whatever. Like, I don't want to do films. I hope he does. Then we have that forever.
That's right. Then we'll be there to haunt him.
Yeah. Look at those 3 guys in the back who are saying, "Liar, liar, tune kya kaha?" Okay, so that's it. I won't bore you more with the details about the young man, and let's hope he does really well.
Touch all sorts of wood. Yes.
500s,
yes.
just for the record, since you want to show off Abbas.
Yeah, of
Everton
course,
says
yes.
it 5 test centuries in a row. Nobody else. So he's got 5 in first class. Let's see where he goes from here. Yeah. Run out for 90 if I remember in the 6th.
Ah.
You were telling me.
I was.
Let's go
Yes.
back to Anupam and the world of movies. All right. So what are the big questions we have? Best film of 23 you were discussing?
No, that's a very cliche question.
No, but it's an
I wanted to
important
discuss about film criticism in general because
Okay.
everybody seems to be a film critic. I have a film podcast and I have not gone to any film school or whatever. I just love watching
Neither
films.
have
I love watching
People who
films
go
and
to
talking
film
about
schools
them.
they just end up getting angry. That's not the people doing these kind of things. Yeah. It's true, a lot of them.
What I've noticed is a lot of film critics from your generation, whether it's you, Bharadwaj Rangan, they've gone from writing for newspapers and magazines to doing video. When did you realize, okay, that's a change that needs to happen, and did it come to you comfortably?
So, no, it wasn't comfortable at all. I was terrible at it. I started
Did
with...
Vidhu shoot the videos?
No!
I mean, he
He
should.
would have killed me. I was so bad.
really?
No, genuinely. It was like, so Smriti Kiran, who used to be my partner in crime on
Correct.
Mami,
Yes.
was my first producer at NDTV 24/7. And the thing was, there was no idea in my head that, I will now change to video because that's where the world is going. Like, we had no clue. I was trained as a magazine journalist. I was always a print journalist. And then I got a call from NDTV saying, do you want to try this? So it wasn't my idea. I was like, sounds interesting, but like I was so bad. I would read the auto cue with my head moving like this. It was just awful. But you do it long enough and it becomes second nature. So it genuinely wasn't so much a thought for me. For Bharadwaj, who is younger, I think it might have been a consideration. I really
And is
pitched
that why
it to
we
him.
use the surname? Because of her being younger.
No, Bharadwaj Rangan is a film critic, Cyrus.
And he's
younger
a
is his
man.
name.
Yes.
Let's start from the
We
beginning.
research very well before
Agni
setting
Dev
it for a
Chopra,
podcast.
100 on 100. Bharadwaj, let's go back. Male?
It's not even Bharadwaj, it's
Male.
Bharadwaj.
Bharadwaj male,
Male.
was your partner at Mami.
Was no. Smriti Kiran was my partner at
Play
Mami.
back the whole show.
Bharadwaj was somebody I sort of kind of really pitched to join me as film companion
Correct.
South.
Yeah.
So I sort of gave him this whole spiel. We met at the Berlin Film Festival, and he was, of course, with The Hindu, which is a very, very, revered and prestigious
Also
place
the
to be.
majority community in India.
So
So I'm told.
I'm not going there. So I said to Baddy that, look, we can be the Avengers of film journalism, yeah, which I thought was like a great pitch. Okay, and it convinced him to actually leave The Hindu and join and start Film Companion South.
Right.
So maybe he had those considerations, but I had no clue. I just got into it.
Okay.
Have you heard of this name Rajiv Masand?
Who is my erstwhile partner in crime, who I miss
Who's
so
also
much.
been asked to go to
For
China.
16 years and 8 months, we worked side by side at
Right,
this place
oh, yeah.
called CNN, IBN,
Yes.
whatever it's called now, TV29 or something. And he was a nightmare for all, because we had the same people working on the set. Because he would write scripts which went on for 16 years and all night and, drive people mad.
Oh, Rajiv and I have had such fun.
Yeah.
Such fun. We would go and see movies together, and we've been on a ton of junkets, Hollywood junkets
Right.
together. And invariably, then poor
Can you do a
Rajiv.
Rajiv impression?
No, yeah.
Can you try?
I just love how impatient he is.
Impatient. And he's very funny.
He's very funny.
Both
And he
on
would say
camera and off,
things.
yeah.
He would say things that I cannot repeat, but it was just like I would keel over laughing
Yeah.
because he was so much fun.
He calls a spade a proper spade. He's that type of
Yes.
guy. You know Rajiv?
Of course I do.
Outside the...
I mean, I've met him. I've
Yeah.
spoken to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
do a Rajiv impression?
No.
Can you, my friend?
I can try. It's not very fast. Make us more excited. But he loves Chinese food.
Yeah.
The height of almost going to war with China. He was still ordering.
I remember he went to cover the Oscars one year and
Yes.
he didn't post anything from the Oscars, but on the way back, he took Chinese takeout, and he posted a picture of that on Twitter. So, yeah, that was
I
more.
love that you know this.
No, it's possibly correct because Anupama, every day he would eat the same thing, Chinese food.
Really?
He was preparing for them. If things went wrong, he's good. And it sounds like he's talking Mandarin. So
Again, I didn't laugh at this.
we're on the borderline of being,
yeah.
cancelled on
I'm so
various.
cancelled
The only
after
good
this.
thing we've said is that your son made 500. After that, it's just been downhill. Really, everything. Yeah.
Cyrus, don't get me cancelled,
No.
please.
Nobody watches the show, Anupama. It's more like practice for us.
Okay, good. Abbas,
Yes.
what were you saying?
No,
Old man
Okay,
is hurt.
another thing I want to ask, Cyrus, jump in wherever you want. I don't know why I'm going to speak more on this episode
please
than you.
speak.
But you took a decision to do away with the star ratings
Yes.
for Film Companion. And here's the thing, many a times as children, film kitni अच्छी है, we
Yeah,
used
that-
to
that rating
realize
was
by the
huge.
rating कि 4 stars है तो अच्छी है, 2 stars है तो नहीं.
Khalid G's
right?
days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? Were you a fan of Khalid? Just to say.
Yeah. Khalid Mohammed is like the OG.
Wasn't he
Yeah,
making or breaking films for a while? I mean, wasn't he that powerful
He had power.
back in
He
the
had-
80s?
And it was Times of India.
Yeah.
It was serious power. I mean, that I
And the
remember.
stars would be very upset
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
couldn't talk back like
well,
the
they
internet.
still
you
get
know.
upset. It's not changed.
These are the questions you're not asking, young man. If you're going to get cancelled, let's go down like the Titanic.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with the art of film criticism. But anyway, so was that a decision so that people actually read the piece that about the film that you've read? Because many a times,
So,
yeah.
No, I totally. The thing was that for me, it was always a struggle.
Because many times I've read reviews where a critic might give it 2.5 stars, but when you read the review, they're actually recommending the film. They're
Yeah.
like, it
So
has
what
its
you're saying is that
flaws.
they just see the review, the
The
number,
star
the rating, and they don't read.
and then they don't read. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes,
so I was very,
absolutely.
very
But a lot of
happy
people
when
I would get conversations in the 90s where people would just go with the rating. Hey, bro, go check out this film.
exactly.
3 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And
but
that's
But
the
it's still
thing.
the case. It's
Yeah.
still Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb,
Yes.
BMS. It's still the case of what is the shorthand for should
Yeah.
I see it or not.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I really struggled with because it's so reductive. Somebody has worked 2 years, 3 years more on that film.
we worked
and
3 years on this podcast. It's going nowhere.
But it's got
just that.
it's
Time
got
isn't
5
everything.
stars on Apple Podcast. I checked this. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
4 stars were sent by us. Only 1 from their side. Yeah.
But so I really struggled with this. I pushed back, and I remember with NDTV, I did a show called Picture This, and we introduced stars later on, or introduced a kind of a system which was like, see it if you must, if I really hated the film, or wait for the DVD.
Rajiv always gave it stars.
He did.
Right
I
till
know
the
many
end.
people do. Peter Bradshaw and The Guardian always give stars. So it's not like it's not done. In IndieWire, which is an amazing platform, they actually rate it like a report
Grade,
card.
yeah.
It's like A minus, whatever.
yeah.
So actually, we were always struggling with this. When I worked with NDTV, they wanted a star system. When I worked on Star World with the Front Row, they wanted a star system. When it came to Film Companion, we started out with a star system. But then, I'd say about 5 years ago, I'm also chairperson of the Film Critics Guild.
Anupama, stop showing off. It's not coming across nicely.
I'm getting to the story.
I mean, you drop it in your sophisticated way of speaking, but people pick it up after some time. We must not brag. Guys, she apologizes. I'm sorry.
So Shah Rukh Khan,
Okay.
I know this guy. Yeah.
Speaking of stars. Yeah.
speaking of stars, he gave a keynote address at the Critics' Choice Awards, which is hosted by the Film Critics Guild. And he talked about how, he said, finally, what are these 2 stars, 3 stars? He said, it's a film, it's not a hotel.
Good point.
And literally the next day, Bharadwaj said, Anu, do we want to have a conversation? Let's just do away with this. And then we did. So it's tough because even now, which, 4 years later, people are like, do you want us to see it or not?
Correct.
Matlab, give it to
Yeah,
us. What
yeah,
are you
yeah.
saying? First of all, they're like, do we need a dictionary to listen to your review? What are you saying? But they also, it's very consumer friendly.
Right.
And when you choose not to do it, you do piss people off.
But you do praise the film or not praise it.
Exactly.
So if you read the whole thing, you sort of get an idea whether you like
You
it.
would get the whole idea, or if you listen to the whole thing, which might be 5 minutes of your life, but clearly people
Could you
don't want
not
that.
like it but still praise the film? Like it's like having an ugly kid and you still like the kid, like that. Well, I'm not saying. I mean, Agni is beautiful. I'm sure. I'm saying generally. Yeah.
I'm saying, nay, if you don't like it, you don't like it. How would you? So you might praise it for X, Y, and Z, but if it inherently doesn't work for you, it doesn't work.
So then
for you.
there's this summary at the end where you say basically this is your sentence. So whether there's
So
stars or not.
I don't ever want to tell people don't watch it unless it's like god awful. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be the person saying to you that this is so terrible because you don't know that. Like it might work for you. I mean, me and Aditya Chopra are the only 2 people who love Befikre, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, Hitler's documentaries only go bells like, but I mean they pushed it.
That was a very weird comparison, but
Just
sure.
thinking that you push things sometimes. Kim Jong Un has pushed his movie.
no, it's not.
Only
it's,
son? Huh.
It's a subjective art form. Your responses are so dependent on who you are, where you are at that time, what you're feeling.
The mood you're in, yeah.
The mood you're in. So I can't say you don't go watch it because I didn't enjoy it. I always say this is how I felt.
Can I ask you one question? Because my marriage is nearly broken apart because of this. It's called French cinema. I am really not liking it. I find nothing happens. After 12 films, I'm reading subtitles, but there's no movement. One movie she made me watch was about this there were 2 men in a consenting relationship, and then one guy dies, and the whole movie is the other guy feeling sad. And everybody was glowing about I couldn't ask me the name of the film because I just
That
wanted
could be moving.
I want to see that right now. I don't know what film that is, but yes.
you and that Bharadwaj guy. After my life, man. Is it fair to say that French cinema, they need to put a little more action in it?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. I have trouble with this as well because our
Generation.
No, not even generations. I feel like it's a certain palette, right? I've grown up at least on mainstream Hindi cinema and Hollywood, right? That was my South Bombay growing up years. That was what we watched in Eros and Regal.
South Bombay, in your
I
face.
know.
Oh, yeah, Baikala.
I live in
No, South
Baikala.
Bombay.
Yeah, why are you giving me shit?
In your face. No, not South Bombay. Huh.
So you become used to narrative. You become used to a certain pacing.
Drama.
You want drama. And if it doesn't happen, you're like, oh my God, kuch to karo.
They also talk softly. I know I can't understand what they're saying, but they're talking softly like it's not even a film.
No, but listen, there's a whole, in fact, last year, and can I just drop another name?
Go ahead.
At the Cannes Film Festival.
Boom. Yeah.
Where movies were running for 3.5 hours. I mean,
Correct,
Martin
yeah.
Scorsese's last film is 3 hours, 25 minutes.
Yes.
There was this whole argument for boredom as an aesthetic. And I'm like, I just don't
Is
get
that
it.
like a satirical point or is it
No,
real?
real. There's
Boredom aesthetic.
No, but there is
Boredom
this
as an
thing called
aesthetic.
slow cinema, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So Noori Bilge Chilan will
Correct.
make
Yeah,
slow
yeah,
cinema
yeah.
and what their argument is that what it allows you to do is because you're kind of festering in your own thoughts because there's no script plot,
Right.
etc. It allows you to get in touch with some part of you that may not have happened
That sounds
otherwise.
vulgar. I'm not comfortable.
That's the kind of thing you ponder over when you're watching that
So
slow
what do you do?
film.
Correct.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is if you don't need 10% of your brain to be involved, then you can do other things at the same time.
No, it's making you go deeper in a sense because it's not giving you plot and narrative.
So you have to find it yourself. So
Yeah,
making
you're-
you work is what you're saying.
Yeah, and you should. Cinema
Not for
can't-
me.
Can I ask the question? Like you gave the example.
asking me or
Yeah,
not?
I'm asking you
She's
because
the
you
guest.
gave
You
the
ask me
example
later.
of the partner who passes away. Now he's feeling sad. How do you make that thrilling? It has to be
It's
slow.
not.
Yeah.
There's shots of him looking on a beach, looking at the sea for a little while. Look, I get it, I
Everything
get it.
you say makes me want to watch this film right now.
So my Aisha loves it. I mean, she says tears in her eyes and all. I'm like, kill this guy. End the film. Why didn't they kill both? You know?
I've been in like really bad horror films
Yeah.
where you're like, creature, get them. 'cause you're
Exactly. You
so
start cheering for the
tortured.
bad guy, right? You're like, oh God,
Wearing
shut
the
up.
Exorcist t-shirt right now. But I just want to say, so just going back to the stars thing, I remember I've been following you for a long time, and I don't remember if it was for NDTV
Careful,
or Film
she's
Companion.
connected.
But I
Two bodyguards
remember
outside.
for one film you gave a rating of three and a quarter, not even half.
Yes.
And then I was wondering now when
Is
this
that allowed?
when this goes on the website, the star rating has to come. The graphic designer got the brief saying this has to be just enough
must have hated
empty
me even
space.
more.
It doesn't look half, but it
It's sort
looks
of like,
three
it's
quarter.
like a neutral answer. Neither you know that. It's a good point.
But you know, that was one of the things that I don't love it enough for a 4 stars or a
Correct.
3.5.
Yeah.
But it's not a 3. So then it just became like a
Yeah.
oppressive kind of system. You know?
It reminds you of this Persian actor Baman Irani.
Of
Yes,
course.
yes.
So Baman used to do
He's
this thing
done
with
some
his kids
wonderful
when they were
Persian
young.
films.
Yeah, exactly. So he would do this thing where he would count till 10 if they've done something wrong for them to apologize or back off or whatever, right? So then I asked him, but what if you reach 10? So, no, at 9, I go into 9.25, 9.5. You just push.
You're just hedging your
Yeah,
bets.
you're highly flexible. Yeah.
Indeed. So it's never something that seemed correct to me.
Do you know Letterboxd, the film
course,
rating?
of course.
There is this whole subculture where star ratings and the review are shared as memes now.
Really?
So if you like, it has to be very ironic. So you watch something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you give it 5 stars, and then you watch Killers of the Flower Moon and you give it 4.5. So you're like, which is superior? So yeah,
Poor Scorsese.
yeah.
Bested by Ninja.
But Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because even the
Yes.
woke public of America and Canada didn't go to see the movie. That's
it's
the
true.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much for supporting Native American rights and all that. It's all gone. Man. I myself am part.
Have you watched another film in the theater since Elvis? Because I know you went to watch Elvis.
I took mom to watch,
Yeah.
and I sang he sang 4 lines. I know all my Elvis songs. You can just check anytime. I mean, just tell me, sing this, I'll sing it. I mean, people don't do that anymore because after Bapida, music changed.
Yeah.
And rightly so. In the theater, I've suffered because my daughter, when she was young, made me sit through all
Right.
these. I won't say
Teen-
girly, it's the wrong thing to say.
Young adult.
No, I've been hungover because they were Saturday morning films. So 2 or 3 times I've been hungover. There's a film called Brave. I'll never forget. Have you seen Brave?
Oh yes,
Of
the
course
Pixar
I've seen
film.
Brave.
It's like a French film. What? I'm drunk.
See what I'm working
I'm
with here,
looking-
Anupama.
Brave
He
was
finds Brave.
Pixar.
A woman becomes a bear. Excuse
That's
me.
not
2 hours
Brave.
ago I was.
That's Brave.
Yeah.
The archery
The
film.
archery film.
Yeah,
the woman
yeah.
doesn't
It's an
become the
animated
bear.
film.
The
Okay.
woman doesn't become the bear in Brave.
Somebody becomes the bear?
It's the other Pixar film in which she becomes a bear.
That's Turning Red,
Okay, one sec.
which
the
came out.
You also the Marathi version, Bravo? Which one you saw? Bravo or Brave?
the
My
the
friend,
second one.
Brave is where she's an archer. Merida is her name. The little girl.
I don't know. There's a girl.
But
there's a
he's
mother, there's a
right.
bear.
There is
That's
a
all I
plot
remember. I'm
point
trying to
where
breathe.
someone becomes a bear.
I don't know, but my hangover didn't go with the popcorn.
so.
That's a myth. Don't eat popcorn all the time when you're feeling drunk. It's terrible.
Okay, so Brave scarred you.
Yeah. Then Planet of the Apes, which I liked. Okay, and all the versions of Planet of the Apes, we've seen all
Right,
those, and
yeah.
all the Avenger films, and all the Spider-Man films, all those films. So I'm a 7-year-old at heart, so I'm good with all that. But anything which has got too much dialogue and nothing happening for more than 10 minutes, that's why I don't go to
What
Parliament.
about Bollywood?
Bollywood, we've only watched. What did we watch? We watched the John Abraham film with my son because he liked football. What is the movie called?
Goal.
Old Trafford. Oh. Arshad Varsi. That
Yeah.
Baman's also in it.
That's
That
like
must be
2 decades
that's
ago.
Right,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I'm like,
What
what
I saw,
century was that?
that Umbrella film of Ruskin Bond.
Blue Umbrella.
Yeah, that also.
Vishal, yeah?
This is what I
That's
can
nice.
remember. Okay,
Again, this is early 2000s.
Abbas, I'm scarred. I have to spend for 4 tickets minimum. Sometimes the friend, I have to pay for the bloody friend. So my wife says, we can get the money back from the... Nobody asks the other parent for friggin' money for a ticket. You're screwed. And that friend is always the hungriest person in the friggin' theatre. Will eat more popcorn, will want more Coke with ice and everything else, and they'll see a samosa. They get distracted. So much for French films. You have that crap going on. Nobody can watch anything. I was like a waiter, going up and down serving people. So I've been scarred. I couldn't watch anything. When I was young and my dad used to take us to cinema, it was different. And I watched all my animal films, Rin Tin Tin, and I remember that. I love those movies.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Trigger, about the horse. You wouldn't know all that.
Yeah, I don't
Because
actually.
You probably ate all those animals. That's why the films aren't available.
By the way, I have to ask a question. I'm getting nerdy for no reason. You watch Merry Christmas, right? There's a scene where they go to Regal to watch a Pinocchio film.
This is
Yes.
Farah Khan's movie?
No.
That's
Sriram
Happy
Raghavan.
Sriram. Sorry, that's a week later. Sorry. Sorry.
Is that a real Pinocchio film that ever played in Regal that they're going to watch it?
I
'Cause
have no idea.
I could not
I've seen a
connect it
Pinocchio
all.
film.
I,
Don't
it,
ask me
could, I,
details.
it might be. It could
Yeah.
be. Yes. Which is so interesting.
It is, yes.
Because they're both lying to each other.
Yes.
It's so lovely.
Now, Edmund Rostand wrote a lovely book called Cyrano de Bergerac, also about a long nose.
Okay.
Yes.
So you might get confused.
And there are many movie versions of
Yeah,
that.
Roxanne, etc.
Yes,
etc. See, I
yes.
know a little bit of it.
And a French one too.
Oh, God. No more France. No more Viva la France. No more for me. Yeah. I know the whole culture's gotten away with slow and boring stuff, and nobody's saying anything. Somebody's got to stand up.
It's
Now,
you.
Korea. They've given me movies where a man dies every 6 seconds.
That's right.
There was a movie that was the train thing. Train
Train to Busan.
Busan.
I
Oh my
love that
god.
movie.
I
Yeah,
love
it is a
that
I
good
love
movie.
it. You love that
I
movie?
love that
How do you watch
movie.
French cinema? How do you watch both? That's like being veg and non-veg. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
but you should be,
Okay,
like
so you're a
very
real liberal and secular cinema watcher. You're not like us. We are tribes. We like our tribe. I love the Korean films.
You know,
It's so
in
quick.
Train to Busan, that last moment when he's standing
Yeah.
and you know
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that
yeah.
he's going to be dead.
Yeah.
So lovely.
Yeah.
Such a moment of poetry after all that killing.
Wow. But I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it was
Him
good.
dying, I'm saying. As long as it wasn't credits for 10 minutes like some of these guys do. Yeah. So I must say that thanks to the OTT and all that, people like me, the Philistines of the world, do get to watch, thanks to my wife who's far more, artistic and aesthetically inclined, I get to watch a lot of, this Majidi. I would not know their names if they didn't play cricket. So, which he doesn't. I do know my cricket. Come back for a cricket interview with your son. Abbas won't have a word to say. We'll expose this hypocrite.
That's true, yeah. I mean, famously, cinephiles get into cinema because they can't play sport or aren't into sports. So, yeah.
Exactly.
But coming back to this whole thing, that it just opened up the world for us.
That's
which
true.
I think
Yeah.
for a young kid, how do you pass an exam? Because you've got so much options in terms of world cinema if you're just open to it and flexible to cinema, etc. Because there's just no end.
It's so
fantastic.
exciting.
You
It's
must
so
be going mad with love for
that's
the
the
medium.
thing. So, but you know what it's done for me is like, and especially because I mean I've never been much of a series binge watcher. I can't do that. I can't do the all nighters. I feel like those days are gone. The 6
Narcos?
episodes. Nothing. I don't binge
Because
watch.
those are the things you can't stop watching.
But
But you like Train to Busan, Narcos is somewhere there.
I know, but I'm just like, I'm commitment phobic, so I don't want to like watch 8 hours of something to figure out how it ended. I need it in like 2, 3, 3.5 if it's
Maybe
Scorsese.
she has a life.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because one of the arguments about this new Scorsese film was, why wasn't this a mini series where you cut up
Yes.
4 1-hour episodes?
Sure.
But yeah, as you said, there are some people who just don't.
I sent him a message.
Yeah.
Do your Italian thing. We love you.
I mean,
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon has a lot of those.
I know, but if he
vintage
sticks to,
Scorsese touches.
Everybody's Italian on the set. He's good. We're good. Somebody dies every 5 minutes. We all talk like that. Everybody's good. I mean, come on, don't break it for me. Really.
No, but what it did for me was opened up the world of non-Hindi Indian films. Like Malayalam cinema, which is just
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Tamil
yeah.
cinema, I've never watched. I mean, I've been doing this for like over 25 years, and there was just not the opportunity or the enough intent to go to like, wherever Sayan Kurla, wherever, and watch a
And
Tamil
would not
film.
be dubbed or whatever.
It
You'd
was-
have to listen to it
Subtitles,
in
yeah.
Subtitles,
Yeah.
so I've just never been exposed to it enough. And now in the last 5 years, I've really discovered it. And oh my God, it's so much
Well,
fun.
first part of the year, a couple of Telugu films knocked off Hindi films from the
Absolutely.
radar
I mean, listen.
until Shah Rukh returned
Exactly.
with a vengeance.
Exactly. And
mean-
look at finally Bahubali, and the whole idea of Pan India has come from a Telugu film.
Yeah.
You
How
know?
they've mastered that, no? They
Absolutely.
seem to have at least for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But if you mention this pan-India phenomena in front of, I mean, I've spoken about this to my friends from the South,
Yeah.
and they we've been doing this since forever. It's just because you have
Absolutely.
woken up to it
No,
now.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. The exposures was made
Yeah.
the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like us. We were doing so well until we became a national show, and now nobody watches. So we'll take a break and then we'll come back. Anupama will stay with us for 2 minutes. Huh? Not 20 minutes more, not more. All right, break.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network.
On All Things Policy, Bharat Sharma hosts Arzan Tarapur, a research scholar at Stanford's Center for International Security and Cooperation. They discuss where the Quad countries stand in relation to China and the Quad's prospects in the Indian Ocean region. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav Memoria unravels the rich tapestry of flavors and traditions of East Asian cuisine and explores the intriguing absence of desserts in them. Folks, if you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends, and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Omidyar Network India, IDFC First Bank, and ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible.
Okay, we're back here with Anupama. Anupama is a very long name. Isn't there anything
Anu,
else?
just call me Anu.
I didn't want to take that liberty without asking you because, what if everybody would think it would be Anu, but what if it wasn't? What if your name was like Pee-Pee?
I really look like a pee-pee.
I know people have funny pet names, but
Yeah,
you should-
Punjabi especially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, too late to defend them.
Sweetie, Billu. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm actually not Punjabi. I'm from UP. So
Oh, you're from UP.
it's Anu.
Excellent. UP Cinema?
UP cinema?
Oh, that's here. They're going to move everything apparently. There's this whole rumor. Is it true?
Well, there's a lot of production in UP. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of film being shot
Could it
around.
really happen that Mumbai film world
No, I don't
goes to
see
another
the
city?
entire industry moving. That would just be,
I mean, they just bought their bungalows in Bandra and Juhu. In like 10, 15 years and again.
correct.
Won't find another place. You haven't mentioned your husband at all in all this. How does it work when, I've asked you this last time also, but I'll water it down a little bit. How does it work in terms of now 12 Fail was a huge hit and everybody's talking about it and all. So do you look at the film and then tell him what you think and all that, frankly?
Privately, yes.
But you wouldn't ever do an online?
No, because it's a conflict of interest. How can anyone take you seriously?
Good point. Fair.
Does he take the criticism well when you give it to him?
Well,
But on a private thing, then what's the big deal?
No, but still.
no, sometimes he says you don't know anything.
Yeah, but what happens?
That's what I was getting
Abbas,
to.
it's
That the
it's
best
like a
part.
husband and wife having a chat or fight over. Then
Sure.
it means nothing
Yeah,
beyond a point.
absolutely,
because it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
then.
Correct.
Yeah.
You need a third person to listen and take down notes. That's where you come in. You have to lose weight for this.
My
So you have to
favorite-
get into the house and then quietly hide in the background. Put a French film on. Vidhu goes to sleep. At which point she starts telling him about the film. I've got the scene playing out in my head.
Have you seen 12th Fail yet?
No, Baba.
Of course.
My attention span is gone. I now, if the shots are even more than 40 seconds, I'm out. I'm really having a problem.
He's basically
No, listen,
Instagram.
this is a
You're
true-
just
Yeah,
Instagram.
You
yeah.
guys think it's a true
Reels.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm one of the older generation who has now just been destroyed by the new generation.
Yeah.
In terms of
Your brain is rewired.
I've never rewound films growing up. We used to put videotapes in and
Correct.
watch. No matter how slow the movie was, French or not, we never pressed a rewind button or fast forward button. We watched the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Now I can't. God, going to a cinema and they won't let you fast forward. How are you going to get through it?
So I think there was a research done because of there's so much streaming options out there, and there's something called lean in content and lean back content.
Sure.
And lean in
active,
is
passive.
lean in is when people are searching what to watch, and lean back is when they just put something on in the background while they're doing something else. And I'm like,
That's our
it's
podcast.
the exact opposite of what. Watching something is supposed to be
Right.
is that when it's playing, your attention is supposed to be on the screen. But now there's so much choice out there that we are more attentive when searching what to watch.
I was just thinking
than
I had to
actually
go
watching
somewhere,
it.
out of town, come back, and I had the day to myself after a long time. And I spent about 5 hours just watching things on the phone. Because I saw the clock, it was 5 hours. And after 5 hours, I can't tell you what I saw. I
Yeah.
saw nothing.
But how scary.
I don't know. That's what they've taken my mind. Something about lions versus tigers, a little bit, okay, that was fun. And then it just goes into rubbish and worse rubbish. And I don't know, just help.
Can I bring two things very quickly, and then we have to go into questions that our listeners have asked us.
But when you ask, what are we like, chief minister and deputy chief minister? I mean, can we say no?
To what? To answering the questions?
Yes.
No, it's for her, not for you.
Ma'am, would you like to say no or yes?
No, we're not going to the
You
questions
said,
yet.
can we ask two things and then nobody, would you like the 2
I'm
things?
sure, please.
Okay, pass.
Okay, Cyrus, but before that, so I want to thank you for the Mumbai Film Festival. I've been attending since 2011.
Really?
And yes.
No, you're still the chairperson, right?
I'm the festival director, not the
So
chairperson.
above the chairperson.
No, no.
Emeritus. You're the supreme leader. Huh?
No, I'm the worker ant in the trenches.
omnipotent one, the godlike figure. No, you're not the trenches. Don't say trenches.
If you ask my boss, that's the 1 week I take off work just so that I can go to the festival and attend
lovely.
everything
You
from.
seem closer to your mommy than daddy. Huh?
I am, yes, very much.
Horrible,
I was so disappointed because
apologize.
it went away for 3 years because of the pandemic. I was so glad it was back last year. So, firstly, I'm very grateful at the same time surprised that firstly the selection of films is excellent.
Thank you.
The idea that you get to see films without any censorship, without any external forces acting upon them. Considering going to the cinema for me on a day-to-day basis is so cumbersome in our country because
of the seats?
the smoking warnings. Then if you're going for a Hollywood film, there's always at the back of my head what all did the censors cut, right?
Sure.
Stuff like that. Do you see any way out of that? The fact that everything that we get on
Can
our
I-
screens is so
quick
controlled.
suggestion, the security check can be little bit faster.
At the film festival?
Yeah, they touch
I think
you
they do their
everywhere. They
best.
think everyone's, with ISIS. And I told them I quit on Wednesday. They don't buy anything. They got to just...
If I get to see a French film where a partner passes away and the other person is grieving, I will go
A
through that.
French
I will
film
like, yes, I
will
will
be
sit
made
through
about
that.
people doing a security check. 2 hours will be on that. Trust me. Ask her. Can I just quickly tell you, I'll forget, I'm aging. My wife is a huge fan of yours. And I was just thinking,
thank
you've got a
you.
lot of people, a quality audience who really, they look up to what you say. So, there's you have to remember that when you write things about films and all that.
Thank you.
Be very careful when you say French film good, let's watch. Because then others suffer. Because she's the alpha and she leads me into the damn movie. Anupama liked the film. Finished. It's true. People start just going with the choice, their favorite critic, and that's it. A lot of people do that. So,
What to do?
Yeah.
But speaking
So
to your...
my was two-pronged question. One is
I'll come back.
One
later,
is,
when your son comes.
what goes into the planning of the festival, because it's a great festival,
Thank
and
you.
secondly, this whole idea of everything is so controlled, but what we get on our screens.
It is, but the truth is, that's not new. We've had a censor board in place forever and forever, and the Cinematograph Act, is
Yeah,
that how you
yeah.
would pronounce
Yeah.
it? Cinematograph Act
Yes.
of
We had to autowork
1950.
52, I think.
52, I think. Yeah. So that control and the censorship has always been there, and I don't see that changing. The festival itself is what makes festivals so amazing is the fact that you will get this cinema, which will probably never come.
Correct, yeah.
Will never have distribution in the country, though. Anatomy of a Fall is releasing on Friday, a French film.
A courtroom drama, Cyrus.
But I
Edit this part.
it's superb. And it's dramatic. I recommend it highly.
It's very slow. I can tell immediately.
Murder mystery.
Why do they talk in hushed tones? Nobody's
a
answering
murder
They
that.
don't.
mystery.
They yell in this
They
one.
do?
The lawyers are yelling at the judge.
Everyone's yelling. It's great fun.
Yelling in French is like Punjabi lovemaking.
I'm okay either way.
You get confused, is it? Sorry. What show have you come to? I don't know. Started off so well with the cricket.
No, but putting the festival together, and truthfully, I can't take credit for it. There's an amazing team. You said the curation is great. It's Dipti
Yeah.
Dakuna who leads it. Maitri is our festival co-director. There is Abhishek who's handling like all the marketing and stuff. So it's like really very solid team.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do. I'm kind of, because that film companion is my job. Mommy is not. Mommy is where I'm a volunteer.
Boss.
Boss.
Come on. I've got in twice saying I'm Anu Verma's friend or something. They just let me in.
Chopra. I love it. I'm not the only one who has trouble with names.
I mean, there's no way back from here. I'll say bye now. You can say thanks for coming and I'll leave. Chopra.
Chopra. So I'm just saying, it's a great thing, and we will do it for as long as we can do it. It's very tough to do. You have to raise a lot of money. But I'm so happy that you love it and
I
you
love
come
it.
every year.
Yeah. In fact,
Tell her
remember-
about your magnum opus.
What?
We won't have time.
Ah.
We've launched. Abbas has been launched in a
Anupama,
Goomer.
did you review Goomer last
Yes,
year?
I did.
Do you remember
don't
there was a
recognize
scene
him?
where Abhishek Bachchan asked for a drink and
Yes,
the
in
bartender
the
gives him
bar,
a
in the
drink
bar.
and he's like, "ये drink free है, एक पे एक, इसका free drink कहाँ है?" Do you remember who the bartender was in that scene? Yes, that was
Congratulations.
Thank you so
He
much.
put in his papers that day.
Was that your debut?
Yes,
Yes.
in an
Congratulations.
Arbalki film nonetheless.
I
so
love
yes.
it. And why not? Why is that like is that an interest to be an actor?
No,
So
he,
I
he
am a
wanted to
stand-up
try out
comedian.
alcohol.
And no, so let me put it this way: if you've seen the film, you remember. So I've done a few ads here and there. Essentially, the before guy in a hair loss ad, or a weight loss ad, or
Huh.
you're the dad in a supermarket who the kid is being unruly with.
Huh.
So I used to get that. If you seen the film, you remember that the heroine had a brother character who just eats
Right.
and gets fat shamed by Shabana Azmi's character. Okay, so that was the part I auditioned for first. I just
Oh.
have to eat paratha throughout the film, and then I got a call saying कि बाल्की sir ने आपका audition देखा, I want you to audition for this bartender thing, and then I auditioned for the bartender thing and I got the
Nice.
gig.
Excellent. Don't mock
can,
it.
Can he stay in touch?
Yes.
So for Ghumar, I went on Letterboxd and I was like, I can't be objective about this film. I'm literally the bartender who's serving, and that's the day I realized, wow, it's tough to be objective about.
But you got to work with Abhishek Bachchan.
That's true.
There you
and
go.
he now knows your name.
I highly
The
doubt that,
character-
but
the character's
yes.
name?
Bartender.
Bartender?
Everybody on set except for the DOP called me bartender.
Wow, bro.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
But
And,
huh.
and let's get the rating for Guma. What was the rating?
We don't do
There was
ratings.
no
There were
rating.
anymore. If you
Yeah.
had to give one,
No, I have,
It got overwhelmingly positive reviews.
It did. It did. I can't say I was
cricket
a,
loving
I
family,
was
the
a,
father, husband, the husband, son, everybody's cricket crazy.
correct. I just felt it was a little predictable.
Okay.
The beats were very.
Sure.
We knew where it was going.
I'll let Balki know.
Balki already knows. My review's out there.
Do they ever get angry with you?
Of course they
Especially
do.
because they know you. I mean,
course
personally.
they do.
Then how to forget Vidu? Okay, that's private. But these guys are one step away. They know you, they're friends and all that, and then you.
Yeah.
So how
But
does that work?
friends know. Size, we don't have like friends.
No, but they
within
know
the
you
business.
properly. They know you.
They
They've
know.
met you
yeah,
and all
I've
that.
been there long enough. I've
Yeah.
interviewed the dads, and now you know
Correct.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go to grandchildren
So
soon.
then, do they have is there a WhatsApp that's sent to you and all that?
Sometimes there is. Sometimes
How
there
do you
is
handle that?
like I just say I'm sorry you feel that way. I have to be true to how I feel about a film. I cannot lie, you know. So if it's grim, it's grim. But I get that people get hurt. Criticism is tough, and so I'm very respectful of it, of their anger.
What if you made a film?
I can't. I don't have the
I-
talent.
I don't know about that. Khalid made films after that.
I
and
know
then
he
everything
did,
changed
but-
in his life, I think.
but I
Because
can't.
everybody attacked him, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like they're
I mean,
waiting.
deeply autobiographical films
But
also.
whatever that is, I'm saying you've given fodder to people because you can't be both. You can't be both.
No, you can't be both.
just can't.
And you shouldn't be both. You have to pick a side.
Somebody pick up this cushion.
Stop throwing the cushion
It's
around
fine.
after every
It just
question.
won't balance on my, you know what, legs.
Do you want to ask? I have one last question. Then we can
Hurry up. Because the
No,
bus,
so-
106 to Malabar Hill, both of us have to take it. We're South Bombay people.
Of course,
Oh,
yes.
sorry, we all three are.
No, it was about film criticism. So you have a film companion.
Yes.
Considering everybody on Twitter now has an opinion, right? And the opinions are there even before a Friday after a preview screening. The tweets start coming. Oh, best film ever or worst film ever. What is your objective rather with something like Film Companion? Where does film criticism stand in 2024? Because there's
Because everybody's a critic.
there's an
Everybody's a
onslaught
critic.
of
Yeah.
so many opinions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
does one
And so many
pass out?
tongue-in-cheek remarks also. You don't even know if they're being
Exactly,
funny
yeah.
or actually don't like the film because sometimes they're just trying to be funny also with
Sure.
liking the film.
And the
Yeah.
counter trolling of critics. Oh, tumhe bada pata hai. You know,
Correct.
that sentiment is more now, I think, than it has ever
Absolutely,
been.
but
right?
that's because everyone has a platform.
Right.
So you can also respond
That's
with have
scary,
you
no, Anup?
Yeah, have you ever made a film, you know?
Because
there
when the
are
Aam Aadmi strikes back, they can be really, rude.
no. Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
So you don't interact, obviously, if they do that.
No, I can't. It's
Yes.
too depressing. It's just also because
But
it's
the
not
funnier ones who are little intelligent humor thingy.
वो नहीं है सारे. There's no
Only the
intelligent
Ma Ben
trolling.
nonsense
It's
starts all
all
that, yeah.
Ma Ben there. And you know
Abba,
the
stop
funniest
trolling,
is,
yeah.
funniest is their worst insult is like buddhi. I'm like,
Wow.
okay.
Okay.
Like you want to be,
Wow.
you know how
Really thought that through.
yeah, you really, exactly. It's like we need a better class of villain. We need a better class of trolls.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to have. So it's my objective with Film Companion. I think critics are more important today than ever because you need curators.
Correct.
You have to. There's thousands of hours on every platform. How are you going to figure it out? So you find people you trust. They don't have to have the same taste as you, but they have to be people who speak the truth.
Okay.
or their truth.
Right.
And it's only one truth. I mean, everybody can have a different response to a film.
But the nice thing is they sometimes just take that bit that they like on the internet, which doesn't have to
Yes.
be from Anu, but can be from Amadni Ajay, and they just put it up.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
just sounds nice, and they just
Yeah.
push that comment.
Exactly.
So it's all fair game now.
yeah. But
Also,
I
they
think,
throw box office figures at you, like, oh,
That's
you didn't
right.
like the film, it earned 1,000 crores. What do you have to say about
Those
that?
I'm
I
very
still don't
skeptical.
like it.
Yeah.
Are those true sometimes? Because everybody seems to have the figures on their fingertips, and I'm thinking, really, how do you know?
No, it's all. The sad thing is in India, still figures are a sort of a
Benchmark.
nebulous art. It's all in the ballpark of. So they're gross, they're net, they're international, they're local, and you can spin it in
Yeah.
any way. You can literally spin it in any way. But hopefully, Film Companion is a voice of credible journalism,
Does-
and that's what we want.
Does Vidhu share the money he makes with you? Like, I mean, he's.
Of course,
so well, and-
I make nothing.
I know, but I don't know how we may come home and say.
No,
"Nahi laga."
between Mommy and Film Companion, my kids are like, "Do you have anything that pays you?" So what am I
we can
gonna
put it
do?
out there. If you want to send us some of money for a good review, I mean, I could be the middleman.
I've been offered,
I'm
now,
sure,
now
yeah.
it's become so blatant. They just text
Was it
you.
by any A-lister, like really big name?
Nahi. Now what's
by
even
the
shocking,
middleman.
like the PR person
Huh.
that can we arrange
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
good review, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm curious to know what
But I'm sure
my
that happens
price would
abroad
be.
also.
Nahi, yeah.
They will try through a third person and all that because then you're innocent.
I just want to know ki rate kya hai.
But then you should say yes once. And don't use that term, but we'll find out what the figures are. Yeah. I'm sure. What if somebody offers you like 100 crores?
I can be bought for
I'm
100.
thinking. One more bloody star, Anuji. One bloody star. Just give from 2 to 3. That's all he's asking.
You even Film Companion did a workshop for film writing. I think you did an
Yes.
online workshop,
Yes.
which was quite good. I took that. It was.
Did
it
you
was
take
nice.
it?
Yes,
How
yes,
So
yes.
it's
lovely.
not about you, about.
I know. Okay, so let's go to the AMAs. So Anupama, these are questions that our listeners have sent in for you. The first question comes from Samir. He asks you, in the age of social media and the easy way to make anything viral and popular, do you worry about your job?
Do you think like that? You don't think like
No,
that.
I don't.
You just write your thing.
I just write my thing.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
viral thing, people do that. I think honestly stupid.
Yeah.
I have a friend, I won't take his name, Kunal. He keeps telling me, no, you should see what the youngsters are doing. I was like, why do you think like that?
Yeah.
Just do your thing.
You can't, because I can't be anyone except who I am.
You
So
said you want to be 19 or you want to
Yeah.
be like this market or that market.
no. I can't think like that.
Samir also has a question. Any movie which you rated highly but flopped and another which you thought would be a flop but was successful?
Which I rated highly and flopped to is every day.
Support the underdog.
Yeah, one distributor told me when you don't like it, I'm happy. I'm like, ये तो चलने वाली है. So one that I really liked was Merry Christmas, which
Right.
didn't really work at the
Yeah,
box
yeah,
office.
yeah,
And so in terms of what will work and all, I have no clue.
Okay.
I have no business
Nobody
instincts.
has. No,
Yeah.
they'll all be multimillionaires.
Yeah,
The best of the best
I
don't
can't see a
have.
movie and say ये तो बहुत चलेगी या नहीं चलेगी. I have no idea.
Okay. Aniket has a question. Which reviewers' opinions align the least with yours?
How do you...
Yeah, I don't know.
is there someone who's a paradox to whatever you say? Every time you say something, they've said the opposite. Is there someone?
Not really.
There's this interesting thing. So I used to read Ebert a lot, and many a times I wouldn't agree with his opinion, but I would still love the review that he'd written.
The writing style you like.
The
you
writing
don't- you
style.
don't- yeah.
But Ebert
Not
was
always.
the original.
Pulitzer Prize.
I dated a
winning.
girl like that.
Yeah.
Loved the way she looked, but horrible personality. Oh, I married her.
Hey,
Wow, Cyrus.
I just remembered.
I shall to show you Anatomy of a Fall.
Don't worry. This 23 years of marriage, I've seen lots of crappy cinema. Oh my God, I have.
Guy Fox has asked, I know the guy isn't in your league, but what do you think of KRK as a critic? He does end up influencing a lot of
Does he
people
really?
on whether to
I mean,
go.
they also make up this hype and all. Does he really make or break films? I think that's not true.
I don't think any of us do, Cyrus. That's delusional to imagine that you do that. None of us do.
I mean, what if you did? Then they'd come after you in a much bigger way,
Yeah.
or rather, patao you in a much bigger way.
Correct.
Because you're far
correct.
too important.
We are
then.
not that important,
Yeah.
yeah. We are just not.
KRK thinks
KRK's
he's
reviews are
important.
like a little different, no? He's like, ये film तो फाड़ देगी box office पे, and he's just like that way.
No,
It's
so
not-
he's a loud critic
It's
and
a tongue-in-cheek.
playing up to the masses or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine, but I'm not. It's not his word that's making the film or breaking the film.
True.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
But is that KRK writing in himself?
Maybe.
I'm a fan.
Guy Fox might be KRK. Yes.
How does he spell Fox?
FAWKES. It's okay. The censors will beep it.
In French, it's like that.
X Singh has asked, has being a movie reviewer affected your enjoyment of watching movies as you're constantly analyzing?
That's a good question. Critical eye, you can't relax and enjoy sort of thing?
No, I love it. I love it. I mean, how else can you do it for like 30 years if you didn't love it and if it was like a job in that sense?
But if you're on a plane and you're watching a film which you didn't intend to, but it just happens or whatever, are you still, the review mind is going on?
No, and on a plane, because I'm so exhausted usually, I always pick like Zoolander or something that I
Yeah.
can.
How dare you, Anu? I love Zoolander!
I love it too. I love it.
That walk?
That walk
Oh, that
and
walk
Blue
alone?
Steel and oh my
Yeah.
god, I love it.
Come on.
Yeah. So, but I'm like, I pick things which are like just easy,
Okay.
you know. But no, I love what I do.
Has there ever been a point where you've like found out something about a particular scene or a movie and then it's never been the same when you watch it again?
Yes, there has, and I should not say it.
Okay, cool. No, I meant, so for example, in Mission Impossible 3, there is a scene where a gun is being shoved into Tom Cruise's face. And J.J. Abrams, who directed the film, revealed that the hand that you see is supposed to be Philip Seymour Hoffman's hand.
Is Tom Cruise's
Is
hand.
Tom Cruise's hand. He
Yes.
himself is doing it because Philip Seymour Hoffman would put a lot of pressure and Tom Cruise wasn't happy with it. So now every time I see it, I
Tom's
can
quite
imagine.
a little sissy, huh? All jumping through all these places.
Now every time I see that scene, I can imagine Tom just shoving the gun in his
but
face.
For me, it was a film that was very critically acclaimed, a Hindi film, which I also just really loved, and then found out later it was a frame-to-frame copy of
Oh,
another
okay.
film.
Okay, cool.
So
Got
that
it.
really,
Oh, Jesus of Montreal.
no, it really messed
What was that
it up.
film?
Rang De
that was a
Basanti.
copy? Rang De Basanti.
Yeah, no, it wasn't this one. It was another one, but it really kind of made
Takes
me
away that,
question
yeah.
I saw that in
everything.
Xavier's.
Okay, fine, Cyrus.
I saw Battleship Potemkin.
That's right,
Yeah.
Battleship Potemkin. There you go. So you've seen.
I'm a critic myself. Russians, I love those guys. Okay, not last 2 years has not been great for Russia, but yeah.
The next one comes from Stark, who asks, "What's your view on content in film?"
It's the Iron Man guy.
That's
Iron
right,
Man, yeah.
that's right.
As in, should a film always spread a good message, or could it pass being entertaining enough, even
Why
with
should it have to
even with
spread-
giving a wrong
No,
message?
I don't think it has to spread any
I
message.
mean, that's
I think you have to be compelling, engage
the story
us.
of a person's story.
Yeah. I mean, if I get a message, great. But I don't think that should be the definition of good
I think,
cinema.
except for Miss India, you should never ask this question, what's your message? It's just ridiculous,
It is
honestly.
ridiculous, yeah.
Unless you're
Yeah.
a prophet with a new religion and there's no space right now,
Yeah.
all the vacancies are filled, so don't come with that. This message thing is nonsense,
Yeah,
really. Why
I
do
agree.
people have to think that you have to, when you make a movie or write a book, that you're trying to change society?
Well, there was something, I think it was one of the big studio bosses in the 30s who said if you want to send a message, use Western Union, meaning send a telegram.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, no, not at all.
But shouldn't a film intend to create empathy in the viewers who are watching it?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not. I mean,
But why
maybe
should he
that,
intend to?
Yeah.
He could, but that should be a byproduct, right?
Yeah. I
You're
mean,
like a kid.
or you have a character who's just completely,
Deranged.
deranged, who you can't empathize with,
Right.
but that story itself is gripping or has something to
It's
say.
so presumptuous and arrogant of a filmmaker to come and say, I want to create empathy.
No, but
You
then
should just tell his story.
Abbas, my view is you can't be prescriptive.
Okay.
Okay, filmmakers should not work with rules that you must do this
Quickly
or you
Google
must do that.
prescriptive. Don't ask me later.
I'm going to do that later. I'm going to pretend I understood that. Okay, we have two last questions. This one comes from Gokul. Do you think it's time we should stop doing roundtables as everyone is doing them?
Yeah, it became
You
a
know,
lot
I
of
have to
people-
say it's an existential crisis for me because it's a format I love, and Rajiv brought it to India.
Yeah,
And
he should get credit.
he should
And
absolutely.
the first few that I saw was great fun because you can
They
see
were
people who love the subject.
wonderful.
Like if both of you
Yes.
like cricket, what a conversation we would have had
Yeah.
then.
Yes, no. The first few years were just fantastic, but I think, yes, it is a format we need to really look at now because it's just spread too thin. And if everyone's on a round table, then nobody's really good.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Okay, the last question comes from someone called Abbas. This guy is who's, can I get a job at Film Company? What?
love
Who is this?
I love
Who
it.
included this?
It's a good question. And the answer will be in the grey area, perhaps. Right? Yeah.
2.5 stars. 2.5 stars likability.
Perhaps.
Or when they definitely don't want you, let's talk. Yeah.
But yeah, those were
But
all
before-
the questions.
before we say
Wait, but
bye-
I didn't get an answer about that.
Of course, let's
Abbas
talk.
wants to. Abbas wants
Of course, let's talk.
Yes.
Of course, let's
and
talk.
I mean
to
it with sincerity.
New spin, new spin.
Yeah.
You're going to leave us? Or the great work
I
you're
don't know.
doing?
Abbas has sent it. I don't know. It's somewhere out there. If you're watching,
Okay, all right.
you should talk.
This Abbas guy, if he's watching. Okay, fair enough. But before we go, I
What's
just
that?
want to-
Kya Kiarostami?
Since we're talking about this kind of influence and stuff,
Yeah.
can you talk to your husband if I could do a little work in
Cameo?
his next? Yeah, I don't want to do. I'm not really fond of films that way, and I don't even care about acting. I just heard he's very generous. After the film's over, he sends a Rolls Royce to the actor. He buys, a franchise of McDonald's for the second supporting guy. I mean, I just love that about him. So more than the art per se, I just want to be in the thing, do the cameo, whatever, have fun. I'm sure we'll get along. We both love cricket. We both be rooting for his son. But I will get the.
You want the
fruits-
gift.
Yeah, at some point. And I'm not picky. I'll take anything, as my wife told me.
But my favorite part about any Vidhu film is the interviews that he does because they're always so entertaining.
I interviewed him twice.
You have?
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
have? Really? And you live to tell the
Yeah,
tale?
Ferrari ki he got along very well with me.
Yeah? Nice.
I think I don't want to, but a little bit similarity in, we abused everybody.
Yeah.
It's such fun. It's
No,
great fun, yeah.
I haven't met Vidhu.
He's
of
very
course,
funny.
He
Yeah,
is
he's
very
very
funny.
funny. Yeah.
He's very funny.
He
Sweet
high
face,
fived Bharadwaj during the 12th fail interview.
That's
You
right.
notice everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That's
joy
quite
of his
funny.
life. That is the joy. But I shall put in a word, my friend.
Ferrari ki Siwari.
That's a good film.
You interviewed him
Sharman
for that.
Joshi.
Sharman,
Yeah.
Sharman.
yeah.
Also
Maman was
about
also
cricket?
there.
Yeah, cricket
Yes.
movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Soldier? What was the first one we did? Yeah. I think so. And
Nice.
we watched a movie while doing we watched the
Oh,
cricket with
nice.
the mute on in Juhu in a bungalow. A match was going on, and we watched the match. We both decided to keep the match on with the interview, so we could look at the game. He and Akshay Kumar had this love for the game, which I respect a lot.
Okay.
Then I don't care about the art after that because I say,
You're
mutual love
bringing
is
it
there.
full circle. You started with cricket.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to end
So
with
I'll end with two questions. I wanted to ask you. So what's Agni Dev's highest score in first class cricket? No, you can't not know this. You don't know his highest score.
164?
You're saying it like you're hoping it's true. You cannot go home. Where is he staying? He's staying somewhere else now. He's in Mizoram.
He's in Hyderabad.
He's in Hyderabad, so that's fine. Yeah,
Is it 164?
I'm not sure.
Why are you asking
I'm not the mother. I can't remember all the
No,
scores. When
so
I was
I'll
young, I
do-
remember everything. I don't
I'll
remember
tell you,
all,
Sais,
yeah.
my
But
view
don't you
on this.
see the cuttings and clippings and all that when
No,
he makes
my
runs?
view
Mom, I
is-
got 100. We did well. Nothing.
I just, you can't get invested in this.
Why not?
Because Sais, and I learned this because of Vinod, you cannot get invested in hits and flops or good form, bad form, good days, bad days.
this
It'll
is-
kill you.
This is too stoic. for
No.
me.
So my only way, because I'll get too hyper.
That I understand. So you don't
Yeah.
go to the ground.
I-
You don't.
nothing.
But when he's done well,
Yeah,
I mean.
I'm so proud of you, but I don't want to
But
ever.
I'm watching a French film. Don't call
That's
now.
right. That's exactly right. I want to always keep a distance because otherwise, palpitations.
Oh God, I'd have done anything to play for. Firstly for Mumbai or for one of the states, and then for India. Anything.
Really?
Yeah, I still want to. I call the BCCI all the time. Yeah.
What do they
There's a
say?
guy called Sate in the canteen who says Abhi nahi. Sweet guy, also failed cricketer. Anyway, thank
Okay.
you so much, Anu. We have to run. I have to pick up daughter. You've got your life.
Yes.
And Abbas has a haircut.
Yes, of course I do.
You were saying no, too much.
For my next role.
Which will be better than the bartender.
Uh,
Abbas,
Hopefully,
that's a
yes.
metaphor.
Yeah.
They're not talking about the actual. Just
Okay, now time to wrap up.
budgets. Yeah. You know how it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you,
you.
Anu.
Thank you so
so
much,
much.
and we will talk.
Yes.